your boy King Red Diamonds, and I'm back for another Neo 2 video. Today I'm continuing on with my Pro Tip Guide series. This is a short series that I put together to help newer and older players, pretty much clarify certain things they may not have known about the game and also give a brief explanation that may not have been clear in the game. Um, I have a couple of videos on my channel now, so if you go check those out, I hope they help you out as well as progressing through the game. So before we get into it, I hope that you guys please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you all so much for the support. You guys been doing amazing with the feedback and all that stuff. So I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you, and we're gonna get right into it. So today, for my pro tip series, we're going over scrolls and star effects. So first, I'm gonna go through the scrolls, and then we'll switch over to the star effects, and then I'll talk to you guys about that in a bit. So, scrolls in Neo 2 are in essence a third accessory in which you can add to your player after reaching the Dream of the Strong difficulty, which is a new game plus. So basically, once you beat Dream of the Samurai, which is the pretty much base game, and then you go into Dream of the Strong, which is new game plus, you will gain access to what are known as scrolls or Demon Parade picture scrolls, or whatever you want to call them. Again, these are accessories that come with set bonuses and attack and defense bonuses that give you little boosts to your character through different stats and different type of effects. Now, there are about 5 different scrolls that you can get, and those are Demon Parade scrolls, which are depicted right here. Scrolls of the Demon, Scrolls of the Wise. If I go up here, Scrolls of the Nioh you can gain, and then you also have Scrolls of the Damned. So those are 5 different scrolls that you can gain, and you can get those from either playing through the game in general, just defeating enemies and getting drops from enemies. You can get them from online missions where if you're playing along with someone who has a certain scroll, the scroll will usually drop that they're running, and then you can now access that scroll, play its mission, and get its effects. Now, the scroll that does drop from that person, it will not have the same roles that person has, except for except for the main roles that come on that scroll. So, for example, if you're running with someone who's running a Demon Parade scroll, you most likely will not get the melee attack consumption, key consumption, and the damage taken, but you will get the luck. Now, that innate stat that already comes on that scroll, you will get, but the other roles will be randomized. Now, you can change those scrolls by basically, entering that scroll and then playing through its mission, and then you'll be able to change one of the roles on the scroll, and you can just do that continuously until you get the roles that you like. All right. Now, the third way, which I don't honestly recommend because it's very, it's not very common, but you can also get scrolls from Revenant graves, and you can tell that a Revenant grave has a scroll on it from a white smoky hue that comes from the grave. It kind of flows up like a little smoke almost, but that'll let you know that Revenant grave is carrying a scroll. So what you do is you access that Revenant grave, fight the Revenant, defeat it, and then the scroll that the Revenant grave was carrying will drop, and you'll be able to access that scroll. Now, the 5 scrolls come in different rarities and types, which again is Demon Parade scrolls, which drop in Dream of the Strong and can only roll as pretty much a purple or legendary, I would say, piece of gear. You cannot roll it any higher than that. Now, there are certain ways that they'll probably appear higher, but that's only through specific instances, which I won't get into because not many people will be running those at a higher difficulty. But if you want to know about that, just hit the comment section. I'll let you know. But Demon Parade scrolls do not roll anything higher than the purple or legendary rarity. That's it. Nothing higher. Now, going into Scrolls of the Demon. Scrolls of Demons can roll as a purple or legendary rarity, or they can roll as divine. Now, they cannot go any higher than that, but they can roll as a divine piece of gear. Now, if you do not know what a divine piece of gear is, I also have a video on my channel going over divine and ethereal stuff, so check that out. But divine is green and ethereal is orange, as you can see. So the Scrolls of the Demon do roll as legendary or divine pieces of gear. So if you do get lucky enough to get a divine scroll of the demon, then you're all set. Next, we have Scrolls of the Wise. Scrolls of the Wise can roll as divine or ethereal pieces now. Okay, so now once you get to the Wise, you're getting into ethereal pieces. But Scrolls of the Wise can roll as divine or ethereal pieces. As you can see, this one right here is ethereal, which is lucky in terms of, if you're in scroll Dream of the Wise. But if you roll a divine piece of gear, that's also good. It's not a problem. You know, you can always get more. It's no problem. Next is Scrolls of the Nioh. Scrolls of the Nioh always and will always roll as ethereal pieces of gear. They will never be divine. They will only roll as ethereal. This is when you're getting into, you know, the higher level content. But Scrolls of the Nioh will always be ethereal, never divine. And then Scrolls of the Dam, of course, you can only get these in Underworld. These are always going to roll as ethereal, and these are the top of the top. These are the best scrolls that you can possibly get. So whenever you're going through the game and you get into depths of the underworld and you start to and you start to get these drops, these are the best pieces of gear that you will get for scrolls. Okay, so aim for Scrolls of the Dam when you get there. In order to access these scrolls, again, you have to hit Dream of the Strong for Demon Parade picture scrolls. You have to hit Dream of the Demon for Scrolls of the Demon. You have to hit Dream of the Wise for Scrolls of the Wise. You have to hit Dream of the Nioh for Scrolls of the Nioh. And then in order to get Scrolls of the Dam, you have to beat all 108 floors of Underworld. And then you have to go into depths of the Underworld in order for a Scrolls of the Dam to drop. Scrolls of the Dam do not drop anywhere less than depths of the Underworld. So if you're going through Underworld and you're trying to figure out why you haven't gotten a Scroll of the Dam yet, it's because it's from depths of the Underworld. It is not from regular Underworld. So you cannot get them in regular Underworld. Now you can get Scrolls of the Nioh in regular Underworld, but you cannot get Scrolls of the Dam in regular Underworld. So do not be, don't feel bad that you're not getting Scrolls of the Dam to drop if you're only in the first 108 floors of Underworld and you have to get to the depths. All right. Now, the differences in these scrolls are basically Demon Parade scrolls. They spawn with one fixed stat and two optional effects. So again, as you can see, this scroll, Demon Parade scroll, has luck, and it comes with melee attack, key consumption, and damage taken. That is it. These are the only effects that are on this scroll. They do not roll with any other effects other than if you re-roll them. Like, they don't roll with any more. If we go up to this Scroll of the Demon, Scroll of the Demons they also have one effect, and they can roll with two additional effects as well. But these can drop as divine instead of only, legendary. These cannot be divine or higher. They can only be legendary. But these right here can drop as divine pieces of gear, which will basically boost the stats of boost the effects on that scroll. So as you can see, this is a legendary piece. If I had a Scroll of the Demon that was divine, the stats will be higher. All right. Next, we have Scrolls of the Wise. Scrolls of the Wise, they come with one fixed stat, and they come with three additional effects. All right. So again, you can always re-roll the effects on these scrolls. They are not set. The only ones that are set are the ones at the very top that you see that little white symbol next to that white. I think that's a hexagon, right? That white hexagon next to. So once you see that hexagon next to those stats, that stat cannot be changed. But every other stat on that scroll can be changed. You just have to basically come here to where it says picture scrolls, and then you'll click on that scroll, and it says, do you want to start the scroll mission? You click yes. Once you do that, you'll come back and you'll be able to re-roll the stats on that scroll that are not fixed. Okay. So whenever you're going through scrolls and you see a scroll in this and you're like, oh, I don't like these stats, how do I change them? Just access the scroll, start the mission, beat the mission. Once you leave out, you'll have the option to re-roll one of those extra stats. And then if you want to re-roll another stat, you have to play the mission again and re-roll that stat that way. All right. So don't be upset that you don't have the stats on there that you want. You can always re-roll it. Now, coming up to Scrolls of the Nioh. Scrolls of the Nioh, they will come with two additional fixed stats. Unlike these right here with the Demon Parade, the Scroll of the Demon, and the Scroll of the Wise, these all come with one fixed stat. Scrolls of the Nioh always come with two fixed stats, and then they'll roll with an additional 3 stats on them. As you can see here, I have an additional 3 stats on them, as well as the 2 fixed stats that they come with. All right. Now, once you hit Scrolls of the Nioh, once you hit Scrolls of the Wise, once you hit Scrolls of the Wise, which are these right here, that's when you'll come into what are known as ultimate stats, as well as extra special rules and stuff, as you can see at the bottom. Okay. So I'll get into that after I explain what the ultimate stats are. But once you hit Scrolls of the Wise, you'll gain access to what are known as ultimate stats. Now I'm going to use this as an example because the ultimate stat wasn't on that scroll. But as you can see right there, you see ultimate courage on this scroll. These can roll from Scrolls of the Wise and up, nothing less. So no Scrolls of the Demon and no Demon Parade scrolls can have ultimate stats. Only Scrolls of the Wise and above. Now, ultimate stats are pretty much they give you extra benefits depending on how high a certain stat is. So for example, this ultimate courage stat, my courage has to be at 150 or higher in order for that stat to actually be in effect. And once it is in effect, as you can see, it reduces key consumption when I'm attacking and greatly weakens the effect of status ailments that slow down my key recovery. Every single stat in the game, whether it be heart, constitution, dexterity, magic, stamina, strength, all of these have ultimate stats and they give you additional bonuses depending on how high that stat is. They all have to be at least 150 or higher to take advantage of any ultimate stat. So if you're looking for a specific ultimate stat, then when you're grinding up your scrolls and stuff, make sure you're looking out for, say, you want ultimate strength. Make sure you're hitting that 150, that necessary 150 stat points in that stat category in order to take advantage of that ultimate stat. Ultimate stats are very, very, very important in the late game when making builds. They are, I feel like they are very necessary. Now, if you feel like you don't need an ultimate stat, that is personal preference. Me personally, I feel like they are very necessary. So make sure that you're looking out for these ultimate stats in whatever stat you feel like you need. All right. Now, I won't go over the ultimate stats because there are a lot of them, and that'll take up more time. But if you want me to go over that in a future video, just let me know in the comment section, and I will definitely do that for you guys. That way, you don't have to, waste time and look them up yourself, and I can just give you that information. But for now, I'm just going to go over that. Just gave you a base rundown of what ultimate stats are. Now, after you hit Scroll of the Wise and you get your ultimate stats, Scroll of Nioh, obviously, again, they have 2 set stats and 3 extra stats. Now, Scrolls of the Damned. Scrolls of the Damned come with 2 fixed stats and 4 additional special effects, okay? They come with 4 instead of 3. Unlike Scrolls of the Nioh, as you can see, this has a lot more special effects. And then when you get into Scrolls of the Damned, you unlock what are known as the exclusive paths of, basically. So as you can see on this Scroll of the Damned, this says Path of the Gods. This one is Path of the Ravenous, Path of the Beast. We have another one, Path of the Avarice, which is here. And then we have another one known as Path of the Ruthless, which is here. These are another additional, stat bonus that helps with certain aspects of the gameplay. For example, if you come down here, Path of the Ruthless increases the damage dealt by melee attacks and speed up key recovery, but in exchange, it greatly increases the damage you receive. So these stats basically come with, additional bonuses and boosts to your stats with a cost. All right. So there's always a cost. It's always going to be, an ebb and flow of that stat. So you'll get a stat bonus or you'll get a certain boost to your stats, but something will be, there will be something penalized. For example, if we go to Path of the Beast, it increases the key damage and damage of yokai abilities, but you consume more anima. So again, you're getting a boost to your stats and your abilities, but you're also, having a certain cost that it comes with. All right. So it's going to be a positive and negative to having these. It all depends on how you want to play and which stats and stuff you want and what effects you want to use. Okay. So always take that into effect when you're equipping your Scrolls of the Damned. Make sure that you're picking the certain path that you want. And again, you can always re-roll. Every single one of these scrolls can be re-rolled except for the set stats that it already comes with. All right. So always take that into account. Don't worry about them being certain stats that you don't want. They can always be re-rolled no matter what. Now you're probably wondering, okay, so if I want to re-roll, and what are these little numbers and symbols next to them? Now these numbers basically mean these are the amount of times that you can attempt this scroll. For example, I'm out of attempts on this scroll, meaning that I had 4 attempts in order to change the stats on this scroll, and now I'm out. So now you're probably wondering, well, what if I don't have the stats on it that I want? How do I get more chances? As you see, well, as you come down to, as you look down on the bottom, you'll see scroll transference settings. You'll hit that triangle. You'll come down here to what is known as 100 Night Incense. You'll use that, and now I have an additional attempt on that scroll, and I can actually access this scroll and go into it. All right. Now, if we talk about 100 Night Incense, these are basically these are used to pretty much again give you additional chances to reroll your scroll. Um, they're dropped from completing missions and dropped from bosses and basically just randomly looted. Like it's just extra additional material that you can find anywhere. There's no specific place that you need to go to find 100 Night Incense. They drop just like any other item in the game. So don't worry. Don't think, oh, I have to go to a specific place to find this stuff. You don't. Just play the game. They'll drop as you progress through the game. All right. And the more 100 Night Incense you have, the more attempts you get to have at these scrolls. So again, the numbers on the right side, they basically give you the amount of times you can attempt the scroll. For example, this scroll, I can attempt this scroll 5 times, but I have 4 more chances to do so because I've probably already attempted it 1 time. So I get 4 more chances. After I get those 4, after I use those 4 chances, I will no longer have any chances. I would have to go in here and press triangle, use 100 Night Incense, and now it upgrades me to an additional run that I can do to change the effects on that scroll. All right. Now, 100 Night Incense are not infinite. You do have to have some in order to do it. If you run out, you just go through the game, play some missions, kill some enemies, and then they'll drop, 100 Night Incense randomly. So hopefully you get lucky enough to get some and continue going through your scrolls and stuff. Okay. Now, I did mention earlier that special rules are on certain scrolls. They usually only drop on scrolls of the wise or higher. Special rules that you can see basically gives you an idea of what can happen inside of this scroll. So for example, if I attempt this scroll of the wise right here, a special rule is that it has a divine plus item drop rate, meaning that if I go into this scroll, I have a higher chance of getting divine items or higher to drop inside of this mission. All right. Basically that's what it is. So it helps, it gives you an easier way of farming. Like these scrolls are not only used for extra bonuses, but they're also used for farming purposes. So you can pretty much go inside of this scroll and now you'll have a better chance of getting divine items and stuff like that. All right. Now, that's not the only effect that comes. As you can see right here, this one has lucky drop transferable effects, meaning that if I go inside this scroll, a lot of the time when I'm inside the scroll, if I'm defeating enemies and they drop items, a lot of those items will have transferable effects on them in order for me to, better make builds and stuff. Another one is this one gives me more Emrita when I'm inside. This one lucky drops Amino Uzume's Grace, meaning that whenever I'm in this mission and I'm fighting inside of this mission, I will have an increased chance of getting Amino Uzume to drop on certain pieces of gear that drop inside of the mission. So when you're going through, make sure you check that out too. See if there's a certain grace that you want to run on the scroll that you have, and now you can, instead of having to go into the depths, you can just farm this scroll over and over and over again until you get the pieces that you want. All right. So that is pretty much all of the scrolls have to offer, really. Outside of that, it's not much more that you need to know. Again, with a quick rundown, Demon Parade scrolls can be accessed in Dream of the Strong or higher, but mostly they start in Dream of the Strong. Dream of the Demon gives you scrolls of the Demon, which can roll in either Legendary or Divine. Scrolls of the Wise can roll in Divine and up, nothing less, only Divine and up for Scrolls of the Wise. Scrolls of the Nioh only roll in Ethereal. Scrolls of the Damned only roll Ethereal. Scrolls of the Demon Parade scrolls are found in Dream of the Strong. Scrolls of the Demon are found in Dream of the Demon. Scrolls of the Wise are found in Dream of the Wise. Scrolls of the Nioh are found in Dream of the Nioh and higher. And then Scrolls of the Damned are only found in Depths of the Underworld. All right? Cool. Let's move on to star effects. Are pretty much additional effects that come on gear with a bigger bonus than normal, basically. So they are what you want to aim for when you're looking for pieces of gear. And what I mean by that is Star effects not only come with higher boosted bonuses to your gear, but they also come with unique different skills that cannot be, tempered onto your gear. For example, on this item right here, you see melee versus purified enemy, and then you also see faster key recovery on rid absorption. Those effects cannot be tempered, meaning I cannot go to the blacksmith and I cannot, roll those on my piece of gear in order to use them. They have to be attained through random drops on your gear. Okay, so these star effects are most star effects are effects that cannot be rolled on gear. Now you will get some star effects that can be rolled, but when it's a star effect, the bonus will be higher. So for example, a good example of that is right here. Boom. Okay, so as you can see, melee key damage is a star effect on here that has plus 6%. Okay. If I will come down to here, you'll see that it says melee key damage is plus 3.9%. The reason why this is higher is because it is a star effect. Again, star effects give you a boosted stat, meaning that what you want to aim for is star effects on every piece of gear. If you have God's luck, you will be able to have multiple star effects on multiple pieces of gear. For example, this right here, I have 2 different star effects on this piece of gear: dodge key consumption and dodge range up. That dodge range up cannot be rolled through tempering. Cannot do it. I cannot have that through tempering, but that dodge key consumption can be rolled. This dodge key consumption is a lot higher than it normally would be if I were to roll it through tempering on my gear. So again, make sure when you're going through and you get pieces of gear that you see that little yellow star next to, you check it out. If it's a certain special effect or stat that you want, you keep it. Okay. Star effect rolls are very coveted. They are very rare, but they also are very powerful. Your gear and your weapons your gear is not the only thing that can roll with star effects. Weapons can roll with star effects as well. As you can see, I have a transform bonus courage star effect and also mystic dyad sword star effect. Again, transform bonus courage and mystic dyad cannot be rolled on gear. It cannot be tempered. These have to drop from the basically in-game regular world drops. They cannot be rolled. So again, mystic melee key damage on my sword. You can roll that stat, but it does not come as highly boosted as it looks right here. As you can see, I have this melee key damage is only 11.9%, but this one is 17%. Again, star effects give you a bigger boost to your stats. So if you ever get a star effect on a piece of gear, I recommend saving it. And basically, if you're not using it right now, throw it in your storehouse. Throw it in the storehouse and just put it to the side for later, but don't get rid of it until you know for a fact that you're not using that weapon, because you might come back to it later on and it might have a certain star effect on it that you will probably use. Okay, so make sure if you ever see these star effects pop up, keep that gear. If you're not using it at the moment, throw it into your storehouse. That way you don't get rid of it by accident and you have it for later when you can always come back and check it out and see if it works for you. All right. But that is the gist of star effects. They're pretty much just boosted effects, and they come with very unique starting effects that can't be rolled and can't be tempered on the gear. All right, that's what a star effect is. Make sure when you're going through, you're checking out your gear, making sure that you have that your gear has star effects that'll help you out in the future and help you out in the long run. All right, cool. But that pretty much explains everything with scrolls and star effects and stuff. If you do need more of more of an explanation, let me know in the comment section. I'll be sure to get back to you for sure. Appreciate you guys. It's King Red Diamonds, and I'm out.